set Spartan spirits on fire. I'm Taylor Rush Live, and we'll show you all of the colorful events.
Have students' personal information been compromised by a San Jose software company?
And the recent BART strike has some students frustrated and concerned.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Hello, and welcome to Update News. I'm Drea Blackwell.
And I'm Devin Rawl. Thanks for joining us. Homecoming week ended with some activities, a fire show, and the naming of the homecoming king and queen. Update News reporter Veronica Martinez takes us there for an inside look.
SJSU Associated students coordinated the 7th annual Fire on the Fountain. Club set out booths on the tower lawn where students participated in events.
SJSU students come out to enjoy outdoor activities before the annual Fire on the Fountain.
Face paint, feather making, and inflatable games were all part of the entertainment.
Getting free stuff, free food, seeing everyone out here, all the organizations and stuff, all activities and that's some performance, so that's pretty cool.
Opening performances started around 5.
The event kicked off at 8, and Associated students pumped up the crowd with music and glow sticks. The show began with the Pixie Ladies, followed by the long-awaited Fire on the Fountain. The performers put on a show with fire dancing, eating fire, and interacting with the audience. Prior to the naming of the homecoming king and queen, the football players greeted the audience. Finally, the homecoming court was introduced and winners were immediately announced.
And homecoming king is Daniel Harris Lucas! Daniel Busaka!
I wasn't expecting it, and it was like, did they really call my name? And so, I'm in shock right now, and I'm excited.
Homecoming king and queen will be present at Saturday's game. I'm Veronica Martinez, Update News.
Fire on the Fountain was just one of this week's many homecoming activities. Update News reporter Taylor Rush is live to tell us how the Spartans are showing their school spirit.
Just a few blocks away from here at San Pedro Square, Spartans will be decking out in blue and gold. There will be a huge homecoming week party and everybody is invited. Homecoming week started off Monday with Associated students announcing the homecoming court. One of the applicants, PR major Daniel Harris Lucas, was announced as one of the 3 princes.
I guess it's just one of those things that you get to have fun and get to do. You get to show the school in a different light. It's not just a school advertising you're an ambassador for the campus. So you get to talk to different people, different students. I love talking to people.
Other homecoming week events included an alumni handing out cookies and pins, street performers, the campus movie fest finale, as well as Associated students having a homecoming court meet and greet. Being nominated to the homecoming court is not as easy as one may think.
We went through interview processing and then their applications. So we chose them based off of their involvement on campus, in the community, things that they've been, involved in, just campus life, and if they can represent Spartan pride.
The festivities also included Fire on the Fountain, an SJSU tradition, which also announced the king and queen of the homecoming court. All of this celebration leads up to the Spartans football game, which is against Wyoming on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Excited for San Jose State homecoming week. Excited to have a great crowd, local people, San Jose community coming out, supporting their local university. Excited for alums, Spartan alums in the Bay Area to come to Spartan Stadium.
Also on campus from 1 to 4, the College of the Humanities and Arts are having their student showcase. And as I said earlier, just a few blocks from here at San Pedro Square, SJSU alumni, the Spartan football team, and cheerleaders will be there from 5 to 9. There will also be live music from the San Jose Jazz. Also, if you wear your Spartan gear, the certain restaurants and vendors will be having specialty discounts for you. Looks like it's going to be a fun weekend in San Jose. I'm Taylor Rush, reporting live for Update News.
Homecoming's fiery festivities hit a snag Thursday morning, leaving one SJSU building with a concerning smell. A generator placed outside of Dwight Bennell Hall emitted diesel fumes into the building's open windows. The fumes could be smelled on the second floor and left both faculty and students concerned.
And when I went down there, I found the generator next to the building operating fully and putting off a fume, not smoke, but just fumes, clear fumes, that were strong, very pungent.
The generator was used to provide power to the Fire on the Fountain event. School police and officials were notified of the fumes, and it was turned off soon after. 3 million Adobe accounts were compromised this month. This has left some SJSU students and faculty very worried. Reporter Franco Valencia has more on the story.
Accounts have been hacked and personal data exposed. On its website, Adobe says, "We also believe that attackers removed from our system certain information relating to 2.9 million Adobe customers, including customer names, encrypted credit or debit card numbers, expiration dates, and other information relating to customer orders. They're also giving customers who were affected the option to enroll in a 1-year complimentary credit monitoring membership." Assistant Professor for New Media, Kim Komenich, was one of those whose account was compromised.
You know, I've had good dealings with Adobe up till now, and at least I'm happy to see that they're stepping up and acknowledging it.
Students who use their information and bought Adobe themselves are worried that their accounts might be hacked. Graphic design major Bernadette Fowler purchased Adobe Creative Suite before the free offer at school. She says she wishes Adobe would have done a better job in informing everyone.
The move of just releasing a press release was their way of letting customers know about the issue. I think it's really important for Adobe to contact the customers, letting them know maybe through their account since they do know our email.
Adobe is actively investigating a report back on their website. At the Adobe headquarters in San Jose, I'm Franco Valencia, Update News.
The BART strike is over, but not before thousands of Bay Area commuters were stranded and irritated. Update News reporter Jeff Samra talked to a very upset SJSU student.
Miles off campus, BART stations across the Bay Area were ghost town Monday. The reason? BART workers chose to strike at the end of last week because they could not reach a labor agreement with BART management. The strike lasted until early Tuesday morning. The question everybody is asking is, should public union workers be able to strike? The strike caused inconvenience for commuters all across the Bay. SJSU senior graphic design student Francis Bonus had to leave his home 4 hours prior to class just to make it on time.
I was like, shoot, how am I going to get to class? How early am I have to get to class? It's just like a lot of pre-planning, trying to figure out like what buses to take, how much money I'm going to need just to take the bus. And then it's just like, it added like maybe like $10 like to my entire day just because BART's not running.
Some Bay Area politicians are calling for legislation that would prevent public union workers from striking during labor disputes. Orinda City Councilman and creator of BanBartStrikes.com said, quote, "There are workforces in our economy that cannot strike. Police cannot strike, fire personnel cannot strike, and they have some of the most lucrative packages of any public employee in California." In 1966, New York City banned strikes in a reaction to a 12-day labor stoppage. New York still saw a 2-day transit strike in 2005, but the fines were hefty as the strike leader was jailed and his union was fined $2.5 million. New York is not the only state that forbids employee strikes. States such as Missouri, Illinois, and Massachusetts all have similar bans.
It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and here on campus, students had a chance to voice their opinions. The organization Justice for Trayvon Martin San Jose engaged in a forum inside the student union. Trayvon Martin was a teenager killed by a neighborhood watch. Topics were based upon the complexity of violence and justice in America. The program correlated with the October 22nd nationwide call for action against police brutality and police murder. This was a 2-day event with the purpose of moving towards a more just and peaceful society.
The idea is to bring organizing and not just awareness, but like critical learning around key issues in relationship to solving social problems onto the campus, as opposed to just either advocacy work or policy campaign work.
Choice plans to continue holding multiple discussions throughout the school.
San Jose State students were given an opportunity to inquire about President Obama's new health care reform. Update News reporter Andrew Carter has more on the story.
A Q&A session was held in the engineering building for students having questions about the Affordable Health Care Act, also known as Obamacare. The event was put on by the CSU Health Insurance Education Project.
Well, a lot of students don't know about the new laws under the Affordable Care Act and the new opportunities under Covered California to gain access to affordable health care. So we're here on campus to let them know about these new laws, their new responsibilities, and the opportunities under the law.
The recently implemented healthcare program has run into a bevy of problems, ranging from logging in issues to incorrect information being relayed to insurance companies. Obamacare has been in the news recently as a flashpoint for debate between Republican and Democratic parties about the logistics of the system.
It was a very controversial policy change. It's a big policy change, and the Republican Party has been against it from the beginning. So even though it is now the law, we're still seeing the Republicans in Congress opposing it and trying to put some obstacles in its path to keep it from going into effect.
Obamacare goes live on January 1st, and December 14th is the cutoff for benefits to begin by that day. On campus, Andrew Carter, Update News.
Coming up, find out why some students are demanding changes with Spartan Shop materials.
And which San Jose student is much more than just a writer.
Spartans, come home to San Jose. The 2013 homecoming football game is Saturday, October 26th, when the Spartans take on Wyoming. Join us after the game for a fireworks display you can watch from the field. For tickets or more information, visit sjsuspartans.com or call 408-924-7589.
There's a new distributor for Spartan Shops, leaving some students in an uproar. Update News reporter Bobby Dupree got a closer look.
Now that the Spartan Bookstore is owned by Barnes & Noble, the store is now re-affiliated with the Fair Labor Association, a nonprofit organization that promotes the fair labor and rights of workers. However, students on campus are not happy about this new affiliation.
They have a history of being corrupt and not really doing as they say and sticking to their code of ethics of supporting the leaders of our campus and making sure that sweatshops are being maintained and run fairly.
The San Jose State chapter of the United Students Against Sweatshops, also known as USAS, is pushing the president to support the disaffiliation with the FLA and to affiliate with the Workers' Rights Consortium, who they believe can better monitor factory conditions.
We are not for sure that our apparel that we pay $60 high-priced dollars for is not being sweatshopped. So by re-affiliating with the WRC, we can be monitored and make sure that we are not putting others' lives at risk.
Requests for a statement from the Spartan Bookstore were declined from corporate headquarters. However, they sent an article where Vice President of General Merchandise, Store Design, and Construction for Barnes & Noble College is quoted as saying, "We chose to become involved with the FLA because we felt they could heavily monitor the factories that we use in the production of our apparel. We know that the colleges and universities we serve do not want products in their bookstores that were manufactured by exploited workers, and neither does Barnes & Noble College." USAS members held a Halloween-themed march into the president's office to discuss the Spartan Bookstore and its affiliation with the Fair Laborers Association. President Kayomi quickly passed by the students and declined their request for a meeting.
I was wondering if we can have a moment of your time.
I'm sorry.
Just 1 moment would be fine.
USAS says the avoidance from the president is not going to stop the campaign, and they won't stop until they know for sure that the Spartan gear they buy from the bookstore is not made from a sweatshop. On campus, I'm Bobby Dupree, Update News.
This week marks the 50th anniversary of the show you are currently watching. Join us now as we reflect back on the program's 50 years and wish Update News a happy birthday.
A weekly presentation by students at the San Jose State University Radio Television News Center.
Update News was started by Professor Gordon Greb in 1963. Armed with big hair and Coke bottle glasses, Update News has covered some of the most pressing issues of the past 50 years. It has been a jumping-off point for countless journalism professionals. As the field of journalism and fashion changes, however, so too must Update News.
There's no point in teaching you how to do journalism the way they did it in the 1700s.
Update will join forces with the department's other news outlets as they create a converged newsroom.
This will enable you to put on your resume that you worked at a school that had the technology of the 21st century that will allow you to cover the news on a variety of platforms, traditional, newspaper, television, radio, and social media and internet. That's the name of the game in the world of journalism if you're looking for a job today.
Update News hopes to feature a new set and facilities by the beginning of next school year. It's been a big week on the SJSU campus. Now we're going to hand it off to Andrew Carter for Arts and Entertainment. What's been going on, Andrew?
Well, Drew, we had a lot going on this week, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. In promotion for Homecoming Week, SJSU students were welcomed on campus Monday with Spartan care packages. The Alumni Association passed out blue and gold cookies along with pins to get students ready for this week's homecoming festivities. Tents were set up in 4 different locations on campus from 8 a.m. to noon. San Jose State's National Panhellenic Council had a yard show in the campus village quad last Friday. Update News reporter Sol Granados was there to watch students compete and step to the beat.
About half a dozen of SJSU sororities and fraternities showed off dance steps and routines.
So I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Stepping is a part of our history, and this is our thing to introduce ourselves to the campus, because every USFC did a introduction to the campus as well earlier. So that's what this is for us, and we kind of made it fun because we made it a competition. So at the end, we'll see who wins.
SJSU students came to see a yard show that incorporated history with their steps. Some 200 students gathered to watch the routines.
So I chose to judge because 1, they had asked me, but 2, I have a lot of friends in it and I don't really know anything about stepping and strolling, and I learned a lot just doing it, and I was really happy to be a part of it. I have a strong feeling that we're going to have one every year from now on.
Iota Phi Theta fraternity won the competition, but the dancing didn't stop after the judging. All participants gathered together and continued to step and stroll to the music, continuing the playful spirit of the event throughout the night. I'm Sol Granados, Update News.
The Environmental Resource Center held its annual Locavore event barbecue. The event was targeted at promoting local eating and sustainability practices among students and the community.
We try to celebrate local food, getting your food local, eating local, going to local restaurants, and supporting your local farmers instead of the big money, big business.
Among the festivities was a sustainable carnival with games and prizes, a photo booth, farmers market, and a pumpkin painting and carving station. That's all for this week for A&E, guys. Back to you.
Still to come, big homecoming game for the Spartan football team. Will the winning streak continue?
And the women's basketball team takes to the court under a new head coach.
The winners of this year's Campus Movie Fest will get the chance to move on and compete with other films in Southern California. Update News reporter Jamie Maciel was there at the screening.
SJSU filmmaker Eric Anderson won the award for Campus Best Picture and will go on to compete with other winners in Los Angeles. His video titled Innocent Love centered around the determination of one little boy trying to make his mother happy. SJSU students gathered in Morris Daily Auditorium Wednesday night to watch the top 16 SJSU films nominated by Campus Movie Fest. The films are written, produced, and directed by SJSU students. Campus Movie Fest provided laptops, cameras, and tutorials to participants for free. Students were given 1 week to complete their films. Movie Fest's promotion manager, Nishant Gagna, was excited to see the large number of SJSU movie submissions.
We had the second most number of films turned in San Jose State University history, and when you consider that we've been here for 8 years in a row, that's a pretty awesome feat. It just goes to show that the passion for film here is continuing to grow. As I said before, San Jose State is one of the most talented and most enthusiastic films schools in the country, so obviously every time we come here, we're always expecting the best, and they certainly delivered.
Miresh Parmar is a junior and a film major at SJSU who submitted a video to Movie Fest, and although he didn't win, still recommends participating in the annual event to other students.
This is one experience that I think any student, regardless of what major, should get into it.
If you missed tonight's show, you can catch the winners' videos on campusmoviefest.com. Live on campus, Jane Maciel, Update News.
Seasonal holiday jobs are now becoming available. The Career Center held drop-in interviews for students seeking employment. More than 300 jobs were immediately available. Guess, Levi's, and Phil's Coffee were looking to hire every position from cashier to store managers.
It was a really fun interview, don't regret it, and I just have to fill out my little career card, and I got the job.
After 3 o'clock, interviews were held in group sessions. Women's basketball and Spartan football are on the menu this week in sports. We now toss to our favorite sports anchor, Jeff Samra. Jeff?
It's an exciting time for SJSU athletics, Devin. Let's get rolling. The Spartan football team wrapped up its last bye of the season last week and got an early start in preparing for Wyoming. Last week, the Cowboys were beat down by Colorado State 52-22. However, Coach Carragher doesn't want his players looking too far into the score.
Every week, the scoreboard starts out 0-0, and every week it's a battle. And you can't look at previous scoreboards and make a carryover. If this, then that happens. It just doesn't happen.
The Spartan defense will have its hands full with a very good Wyoming passing offense led by quarterback Brett Smith. David Fales will try to keep the Spartan offense rolling against the Cowboys. Fales has already thrown for 1,943 yards and 12 touchdowns this season. Ben Wickery Island is a dangerous place for opposing wideouts on game day. The rest of the week, it's a different story. Update News reporter Christian Carrasco has more.
Students think football players only get pumped for Saturday night lights, making plays, and post-game media interviews. Senior cornerback Benny Ben Wickery is an exception. A child development minor, Ben Wickery volunteers his time at the Child Care Center, although he doesn't have to.
Yeah, bring me around children. I've always enjoyed being around children. All my little cousins are a joy to be around, so just gives me another opportunity since I'm in San Jose, away from family, to be around younger children.
Shannon Wu is grateful for Ben Wickery's help and bringing other teammates to visit the kids.
Benny is also, you're required to only do 20 hours, and he has continued to do it throughout the whole semester.
Despite numerous awards and accolades like being named to the first team All-Mountain West Military Bowl champions and numerous NFL scouts watching him this season, Ben Wickery is a kid at heart. Spartan head coach Ron Carragher is proud of his Spartans.
With their match or their mentor from our football team, and it's fun and exciting, and Benet was one of those young men. I think it says a lot where our guys can give their time to work with other people, but it's win-win for both.
Ben Wickery is grateful for the role he plays in the community.
When you have other people on campus aware, they do come when going to classes, they do look at us and just say, okay, we're just regular athletes, but it's also another side of us that they don't see, and this is an opportunity for them to see that we are students, athletes, and we do help out in the community.
Coach Carragher and the team plan on spending another day with the children from the center by season's end. For Update News, this is Christian Carrasco.
The Lady Spartans basketball squad is hitting the gas pedal for the 2013 season. We pass the rock to Update News reporter Andre Blackwell.
The Spartans enter their first season in the Mountain West Conference under new coach Jamie Craighead. The former coach of Sacramento State, Craighead is bringing her up-tempo style to the Spartans.
40 minutes of full court offense and defense. That's how we'll play.
Armed with press defenses and fast breaks, the Spartans hope to make their presence known in the competitive Mountain West.
I like a fast game, and I mean, if we can outrun players, then we can win a lot of games.
A new coach in offense means the Lady Spartans face a bit of a learning curve.
The learning curve is really just trying to pick up on what we do and not worry about other people. So as fast as we can pick up on this full court game, we'll be able to do some things. Hopefully we can get it before the preseason.
The Spartans are counting on junior guard Terea Cunningham, who returns to the lineup this year. The team's leading scorer in 2012, Cunningham averaged just under 20 points a game. This year's schedule is highlighted by Mountain West rivals Fresno and San Diego State, both of whom were in the NCAA Championship Tournament last year. For Update News, I'm Drea Blackwell.
Preseason against William Jessup on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Disappointing loss for the San Jose Sharks, but Bay Area fans have 49er football and Raider football on Sunday, and a Kobe-less Lakers squad comes to Oracle Arena to play the Warriors on their opening night, Wednesday. Big weekend for fantasy football. Devin, being 0-7 in your fantasy league, are you giving up?
Not just yet, Jeff. This guy has a few tricks up his sleeve. Blockbuster trade this week. I actually sent my number one pick, AP, for Reggie Bush and Wes Welker. Things are looking up.
Let's hope things turn around for you, man.
I'll no longer be living on the waiver wire, Jeff.
That'll do it for now. Thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook by searching SJSU Update News. If you have any comments, feel free to email us at sjsu.updatenews@gmail.com. See you next time.
Spartans come home to San Jose. The 2013 homecoming football game is Saturday, October 26th, when the Spartans take on Wyoming. Join us after the game for a fireworks display you can watch from the field. For tickets or more information, Spartans come home to San Jose. The 2013 homecoming football game is Saturday, October 26th, when the Spartans take on Wyoming. Join us after the game for a fireworks display you can watch from the field. For tickets or more information, visit sjsuspartans.com or call 408-924-7589.